I'm looking like an anglerfish. It's beginning to look a lot like chaos, and that's why I have to put something over it so we don't see it. It's almost Christmas again. I've been asked to make one of those last-minute gadget videos again, but I'm not coming up with enough ideas this year. I have 4 so far, but yeah, I will keep those for next year. But as I'm playing chef this year on Christmas Eve, I plan to make some crème brûlée as a dessert, and I thought I can probably make some ornaments out of caramel using, of course, the K40 laser. Therefore I got me a bowl and some different kinds of sugar, white sugar, powdered sugar and cane sugar, and we will try out if we can engrave something into sugar, creating some caramel. Of course, I probably have to defocus this bowl a little bit out of the focal point of the laser in order to not burn it right away, because I think even turning down the laser intensity to a minimum will still burn the sugar to a crust, and we want some nice golden caramel. So I will play around with this so we get some results, hopefully in the end. Let's try off with some simple white sugar. I will just pour some in and I will try to engrave something on it. Some simple, not too detailed kind of shape. And I will try to engrave it, and maybe I will also try to, use the cut function in order to get a result. Let's see what works best. I will take you with me, not to make rocket candy, but to make laser candy. So I'm on Google looking for some Christmas tree silhouettes in order to find something that I can use for testing. Looking for something not too simple, not too complicated either. Something like this maybe. We have some fine tips and these little holes so we can define our resolution, our sugar resolution. So I will drop this into a coral laser and then try to engrave this. So I took out the honeycomb because I chose a bowl that is a little bit too high, so the slat will run into it. So I took it out and I will replace it with a roll of gaffer tape and a tape box. I will put this on top of it. Of course, I now lowered down the actual sugar level, like 1 to 2 millimeters deeper than the ideal focal point of the laser, which means it will be defocused already a tiny little bit. This should work in things of height, so the laser can run over it. The only thing is, and the most important thing is, we have to get rid of the air assist because we don't want to blow out all this sugar. So in order to do that, I can rather unplug my pump. In my case, it is easier for me to simply remove the hose. In this case, I will take it off and I will squeeze it into the cable chain. That's probably the best idea. I will grab me a piece of gaffer tape. Yeah, I will tape this hose down to the cable chain using some gaffer tape. So let's move this a little bit further up like that. And then I will try engraving mode. Engraving mode with about 200 millimeters per second. Let's see, I will align the laser first so we have a little idea what we're doing. And I turn off the laser and go to preview just to see how we are aligned. That's not too bad, I think. Now I will bring down the intensity to maybe 20%, so quite low. And I will go with 200 millimeters per second. I will turn around the camera. Of course, I will put on my safety goggles because I will operating this machine while the lid is open. And of course, I'm taking a step back while doing that because, as we all know, we are talking about a category 4 laser which will blind you in a fraction of a second. So yes, I will turn off autofocus and then we will run this and see what's going to happen. Guys, this is epic. Maybe I did not put enough sugar in there, but this definitely worked somehow. It melted the sugar, that's for sure, but it stuck to the actual bowl. So that was my thought I need to put more sugar in there. Let's put way more sugar in there. Now I'm back up to the actual level of my honeycomb. So let's run another preview. Turning the laser source off, of course. Still having my goggles on, because you never know, right? So, and I will put this a little bit further down like this. And then let's run the same thing again. Let's have a look. I'm curious, but I think this might have worked pretty well, actually. It really caramelized. It did not burn the sugar. It's still warm. I should wait a little bit. Maybe it's it needs to harden. But yeah, look at this. I mean, this is definitely golden caramel in sugar. Let's see. Oh wow, guys, this is epic. Look at this. How should I take this out? This is awesome. Look at this. I made a Christmas tree out of caramel. This is astonishingly awesome. And look at this. When I turn it around, it even looks like it snowed on it. Okay, so this needs further inspection. I need to add a little spike here in order to put it into my crème brûlée. And I will also try the other sugars I have. This is white sugar. But this is not even too fragile. I mean, it's still caramel, but it seems to be pretty hard. And it did not make all the little details, which is fine for me. I mean, the shape even is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm I'm a little astonished that this worked pretty well. So I will get me a plate. I will put them onto plates. So we will have a little taste test later on. And I will, of course, reutilize this sugar, so I sift it down to get rid of my first fail, like this. And then I will pack this back into the bag, because we are saving stuff. Let's try powdered sugar and see if this does anything else. Maybe it gets more detail because it's finer in structure. Well, this is still burned in there, but I will just leave it for now. Let's put on some powdered sugar, which I probably need to compact down somehow, because it is quite crumbly. Do I have anything clean? Yes, I have this, which is a little measuring cup, but it's fresh out of the pack and it's for medical use, so it is food grade. Let's push this down a little. Okay, so let's try the same procedure again. Same speed, same output power. I will just turn off the output of the laser in order to perform another preview to align this thing properly, like this. All right, safety goggles, and of course you would do this while having the lid closed. I'm just doing this for demonstrational purposes. Okay, my machine stopped somehow. I was messing around with the computer, and yeah, it just stopped. It lost connection to the laser, so it stopped. But I must say, anyways, even I thickened now the layer of sugar, it did not really work. So I don't think this makes a lot of sense to continue with, because you see, can you see this? Probably. It's too bright. Let's crank this down and let's zoom in a little. There, this is better. So yeah, you see that there are holes that are not supposed to be there, probably because the sugar is so fine that maybe it shrinks, and then holes appear. Like this is almost completely detached from the rest. I can try to lift this out, and you see that already the tip is broken off, this piece is missing, and after all it is not working quite well. So the white sugar definitely is way better. I will get rid of this. I'm actually not pretty sure. We should try the cane sugar as well, but it is more coarse even than the white sugar. So I don't think, I think white sugar will be like the best thing to do. Okay, let's try cane sugar. I'm making a mess here all around. Well, it is basically the same as white sugar. It's not entirely white because it's natural sugar, but it should work as well. I'm curious to see if it makes any difference. I use the same cup again just to break down the little crumbs to make it even. And then we do the same thing again. And while I'm doing this, I'm already working on my Christmas ornament that will be a little bit more detailed to put on my crème brûlée. Alright, cane sugar. This does not look too promising, I must confess. This is hard, this is also hard, but you cannot see that much detail or that much fine detail. Let's try to lift this out. Well, it still made a pretty decent Christmas tree here. Not too bad. I already broke off one side, but that's okay. Yeah, it works. I mean, it looks cool. It does not look as cool as the white sugar, I must confess. Well, this is the result so far. So we have the white sugar one, which is, it is the most beautiful thing, right? I really like this one. This is the cane sugar. It's a little bit fuzzy. It looks more iced because of, well, the whiteness of the remaining sugars. But this one is way more detailed, and well, and then we have this one, which is the powdered sugar. But I kept it because I want to try it taste-wise. However, I will stick with the white sugar, so that's something I learned already. And I will make another ornament, which is a little bit more themed. Okay, so this went right overboard, but I needed to try this. Let's go over top and do this thing, which is a Christmas ornament with my man cave initials, and I made a little spike here to stick it into the crème brûlée afterwards. Let's see. At least this is something you could not do by hand, I would say. I mean, you know, you could not pour this into a mold or something, or you would need to make a mold, which is quite fiddly with, you know, very thin caramel and stuff, especially here with, you know, little snowflakey things. So, yeah, let's try this out. I'm curious if we can make this. Now let's see if this worked. It produces quite a bit of smoke, but I must confess it smells like a Christmas market in here. Okay, well, alright, it seems to be working. I have to be very careful, of course, this is very fragile. I don't want to break it right away, but it worked. It worked pretty well. It worked pretty well, I must say. Now where I'm looking at this, of course the other side would be even more beautiful because it looks like snow, like ice. So I would need to mirror this in order to, you know, to turn it around afterwards. This is awesome. I'm so surprised this works, and this is so easy to do, guys. And I'm not referring often to do stuff because it's always it's always a fire hazard. So I'm not recommending. Oh, you see, I just broke it. Well, that's okay because I need to redo this anyways, and maybe I can turn down the speed a little. Well, you can really play around with this. You see, this is not as dark as this one, so I could probably turn up the heat. Maybe I keep the speed at 200 millimeters, but I go up and I turn the laser to like 50% instead of 20. Okay, so I increased the power. I actually put it to max, which is 15 amp on my machine, and it still seems to be alright. It's not burned. it's still a nice golden color. Let me bring down the exposure, it's way too bright. It's still too bright. This is better. Yes. So you can see it's still golden, it's not burned, and it was on maximum output. So very simple, no tricks whatsoever. Let's see if we can pull this out. We'll carefully remove a little bit of this extra sugar in between the snowflake. Let's see, let's take this out like that. And there we have it. This is awesome. And so this year and this episode comes to an end. And I am pleasantly surprised how well this works. Guys, I'm blown away. Try it out. Use some sugar in order to make ornaments using your K40 laser. I tested out different focal lengths and laser intensities and stuff. It comes out, I just put it in there on the regular focal point you use to engrave wood or whatever. I used 30%, 20% and 100% output power. It does not change too much, I must say. One rule of thumb I'm saying is that when you have thin lines, you want to use 100% of your capacity of your laser tube, because at 200 millimeters per second, you know, it passes pretty quickly over the sugar. And when you have like a big surface, like this Christmas tree, I use 20 or 30%, and still none of this burned, even not on the maximum output. So it is quite easy, and usually I'm not recommending doing stuff like this because, you know, your laser tube might break or you might start a fire or whatever. So on behalf of that, you can try it. It is pretty awesome and it works pretty well. Of course, it generates smoke and all that stuff, but yeah, it's quite awesome. So we tried our cane sugar, which works, but it's a bit coarse and a bit, yeah, it's very fragile. We used white sugar, standard white sugar, which works best in my opinion. And we used powdered sugar, which somehow did not work at all. It liquefies too much, I think. It gets very, very thin, and then everything, you know, melts together. And yeah, it's not working that well, but white sugar is the way to go. And I'm pretty proud of my Man Cave Effects ornament that will take or find its place on the dessert on Christmas Eve. So I will put this away for now, and we still need to do the taste test because I'm pretty sure that the different sugars might taste differently. So let's try the white sugar first, because yeah, I think that's the best one. That's actually pretty good. This is like the regular sugar kind of crispiness you get on your crème brûlée with the little torch. No burnt taste whatsoever. Often when you cut or when you do food stuff with a laser, it tastes terrible because it just evaporates parts of it and carbonizes it. It's terrible. So that is pretty good. Let's try the cane sugar. More coarse, more chewy, less crispy, and less of a caramel taste. It's just sweet. Interesting. Now let's try the powdered sugar. Even it did not work, but this is interesting. This tastes 100% like a marshmallow. Even there's no vanilla in it. This tastes like marshmallow. I must confess, taste-wise, the powdered sugar wins. Definitely. Because you have that marshmallowy fireplace aroma. Interesting. But form-wise, or work-wise, this works best. The white sugar, and you still have a nice caramel aroma in it. So yes, I'm super satisfied. This is awesome. I will continue playing around with this stuff. So I wish you happy holidays, a happy new year 2023. Special thanks to my Patreons who are supporting my channel. You guys are awesome. And I hope you have some nice holidays. Until then, see ya.